So part of the lyrics from the Melanie song, Lay Down Candles in the Rain, are we were so close, there was no room. We bled inside each other's wounds. We all had caught the same disease, and we all sang the songs of peace. Part of the wrapping up with a bow theme this month includes wrapping up our past that lingers in the dis-ease of shame, blame, guilt, and pain. We want to purge its energy and send that energy off to the universe to be used for better purposes so that it doesn't hold us back or leave some shadow in our belief system of not deserving a best life. We all of us, me too, we all have wounds from causing wounds, a bit of disease from hurting someone else, as well as the hurts we've experienced. We all have them. However, we also have the ability to create a field, a synergy, an energy within that can be used to change our consciousness and the beliefs that attract these conditions. Our spiritual practices create the field, a field of release, a field of healing, a field of forgiveness. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Wake up. Your word is all powerful. Your consciousness is one with omnipotence. Your thought is infinite. Your destiny is eternal, and your home is everlasting heaven. Realize the truth. I am living in a perfect universe. It always was perfect and always will be perfect. And our perfect use of it, through our perfectly cleansed, our squeaky clean belief system, brings into our lives what we have envisioned to be. We have the ability to clear our subconscious or subjective mind, to open ourselves up and release ourselves from the tyranny of our past woes, our past worries, our past mistakes, our past behaviors, and not to render us not guilty, but to free us so that we can move forward through this past and step into our potential and manifest our best, and thus give back, be able to give back, be able to be of service, be able to be part of the consciousness of world peace, of world healing at full force. The deep love of self is a transactional and transformational intelligence. When heart connections are made, our neural pathways, all of them, and I've talked about this before, the neural pathways, of course, in your brain, the neural pathways that are in your heart, as well as many that are in your gut, these neural pathways, they expand and they wise up. And we reveal an inner peace that is there as we vibrate at the speed of the divine, as we tap into the divine within. They are there to reveal inner peace and thus world peace. And that is because peace exists in us. We hide it in the shadow, we hide it in past transgressions, whatever you want to call it, but we can release them so that we can release that peace that exists in us, that is our birthright. You know, if you take a candle into a cave, you'll have a little light in the cave. But if you bring, for example, 8 candles, happy Hanukkah again, 8 candles, then you can light these other candles with that one candle and thus increase the light. That is what we want to do. We want to increase the light. We want to give the light of the peace that is within by exploring and then releasing past pain and guilt and blame and shame and all that stuff. In doing that, we can optimize our manifestations. Optimize what shows up in our lives. Don't you want to do that? I want to do that. I've been working on this week. I've been working on this idea of digging in deeper, using my spiritual tools to dig in deeper and release this junk that is in my way. And much of that junk doesn't even show up in self-talk. Melanie's song reminds us to lay down, let it all down. Let your white birds smile up at the ones who stand and frown. The white bird, the dove in your heart, it's time to release it, to let it smile up all the frowns and habits of our past, of the transgressions, of the hurts, of the pain, of the sorrow, of the shame, regret, guilt, whatever. Abraham Hicks wrote, when people ask us how long does it take for something to manifest, we say, it takes as long as it takes for you to release the resistance. It could be 30 years, it could be a week, it could be tomorrow afternoon. It could be right this second when we release the resistance, and the resistance is found in our fears, in our shame, blame, guilt, regrets. Release the resistance. Because the manifestation work you're doing, whether it's intentional or unconscious, that work is done immediately by the universe. The universe picks it up, the law picks it up and works on it right away. But what it looks like has to do with what you believe and where you stand. I had a dream that I met the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction, whatever you want to call that law. But I met the law. Now, I won't tell you what she looked like or what she was wearing. It was my dream. Have your own dream. But I met the law. And the law was taking me on a tour. And we entered this huge area. It was infinite, rows and rows and rows of stuff. It made like an Amazon warehouse look like a mom and pop shop. Infinite possibilities is what was going on here. And we were walking along and I'm looking at stuff, and all of a sudden I see my name. Like it's a place for all my stuff. And I said, hey, hold on, wait a minute. This is my stuff? And she said, well, yeah, of course. Whatever you want, whatever you require or declare, or you're going to require or declare, it's all here. There's infinite possibilities. See how far back it goes? Forever and ever and ever. And it's just waiting for you, she tells me, to reveal that in your life. So yeah, it's your row of stuff, you could say. And I looked at it, and it just went on forever. I mean, anything, anytime, any idea at all, it just goes on forever. It was right there. And I just thought, that's so great. Look, there it is. Boxes and labels of all kinds of things, all kinds of ideas. And then I noticed something that I had already received, And I said, hey, I remember getting that. And, when it showed up in my life, it didn't really look as nice as that. And she said, well, that's because you were standing on the corner. And I said, what? The corner? What are you talking about, standing on the corner? And she said, well, when those things were delivered, she says to me, you have to be on truth trail. And I said, truth trail? She said, yeah, when that thing that you're looking at was being delivered, you were standing on the corner of Truth Trail and Fear Avenue. So that color, that filtered the the experience you had because you were standing at the corner. And I was like, huh? What does all that mean? But then we were walking and we continued walking, and I kept noticing things. Of course, I'm looking at my stuff and I'm noticing things in my life. And there was things that never really happened so far yet, and some things that I had wanted and desired. And I said, hey, wait a minute. What happened to that? I was standing on Truth Trail. I did treatment for it and everything else that is required to bring that into my experience. And the law said, no, I heard you, she said. It was being delivered, but you weren't on Truth Trail, my friend. You were on I don't deserve it drive. If you're not on Truth Trail, it just doesn't show up. And I kept looking and I said, geez, what about that? And she said, don't even ask. You are on lack lane, buddy. And when you're on lack lane, everything is tainted. Now, I tell you this story because I want you all to join me in digging in, delving deeper into your spiritual mind practices, whatever those are. There are so many. But dig in deeper, delve in deeper, pay forward in mental coin so that the stuff you require, the attitudes you require, the relationships you require, the peace of mind shows up as you desired it, as you pictured it, as you wanted it, as it is there in that warehouse. And let me encourage you to stay on Faith Freeway or Belief Boulevard or Spirit Street if you can't be on Truth Trail. Because UPS, the Universal Prosperity Service, they're going to deliver that. And you want to be at the right address to get the right and perfect delivery. Our belief sets the limit to the quality of our demonstration through a principle which is limitless. And from a universal warehouse, as in my dream, that is full of infinite possibilities, ready to fill everything you require through the law. So it's not a question of its willingness or of its ability. It's entirely a question of our own receptivity and our freedom from shame, blame, guilt, or regret. If you find your thoughts and beliefs flavored by any of that lack junk, keep praying. Keep treating your mind with love, backed by knowing your power. It's like I've said before, it's like holding that glass of dirty water and you start pouring in the mental equivalent of clean, fresh water, of prosperity, of health, or whatever into that glass with love and gratitude-filled ideas and peace and prayer and spiritual practice. And soon that dirty water will become clean and fresh and ready and open. In the Gospel of Thomas, Yeshua is quoted by saying, if you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. What you bring forth, what you put out there, what you release through the power of the speed of the divine that is within you right here and right now is that junk that gets in your way. That regret, that shame, that blame, that guilt. It's in your way. And if you don't get it out of you, if you don't remove it, if you don't sit in peace with it, it will get in your way. It will bring all those things in the universal warehouse in a different light, maybe even tainted. Take a look at what beliefs and decisions you inherited from your family or adopted from society, what beliefs and decisions you have regarding your mind and body, beliefs and decisions you have about your family and love relationships, beliefs and decisions you have about your friends, your money, your community, your world. What beliefs and decisions do you have about your higher self and source and God? And those terms for God, the divine intelligence, whatever. Where do you stand on those things right now, today, no matter what's going on around you right now, today? Because in order to relieve the burden, you got to create a gnosis. A gnosis is an understanding that allows you to release them in the revelation process. And that's what you're going to go through. A revelation process, you're going to reveal these things so you can let them go, let the energy of those things be rid of from your whole consciousness. And then you can decide what you are for, not what you're against, what you're for. And what you're for is the forgiveness of all of that. You're for the conscious eradication of any evil intentions that you might have within you. You are for a forward movement of divine love and intelligence in your life, in your mind, in your body, your soul, in your divine matrix, intentionally activating in your consciousness and physical reality. Since the explosion of the first atom bomb, we have read about the possibility of a physical chain reaction that might destroy civilization as we understand it. But there is another kind of energy, and this is Ernest Holmes talking again, that is even more important. And this is the energy of faith, of affirmative prayer and spiritual meditation. There is no reason to doubt that in the field of spiritual consciousness, a chain reaction could be created, which would bless the world. It's not about the bills, my friends. It's not about the kids. It's not about the elderly. It's not about the outside conditions or the government. It's the burdens in our minds, the darkness in our soul, which must be revealed, laid down, and released. So as Melanie says, raise the candles high, because if you don't, we could stay black against the night. Raise them higher again. And if you do, we could stay dry against the rain. Lay down. Lay it all down. Lay down your burdens. And celebrate the holidays with freeing ourselves of our burdens, wrapping it up in a bow, and taking a stand and making a stand on Truth Trail. Thank you so much. Namaste.